Well, that was our third day in a row with temps in the 90s and 70% humidity with thunderstorms in between, and it looks like we got a handful of days with a little bit more moisture coming up and another following week of temps in the upper 80s. So we're going to go ahead and do another pass of fungicide. We did our last pass about 7 days ago, and this is about the time where you start to see that first fungicide pass start to break with these kind of conditions. And when that happens on cucurbits, pumpkins especially, cucumbers, any kind of squash, really, you start to see powdery mildew really set in. They're saying that fires are supposed to be coming, the smoke from the wildfires out in Colorado is also coming in. And we noticed last year when we had the wildfire smoke coming in from Canada and we had days like this, powdery mildew set in really fast. The air just gets stagnant, it gets hazy, you're not getting enough breeze in some cases, and stuff gets to be a mess. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and apply about a tablespoon of this product, copper fungicide. It's a really good product to use on all vegetables and fruits. You can use it on corn, you can use it on pumpkins. Safe, doesn't affect flavor, doesn't change anything about the plant. You can find it at any big box store. We're going to run a tablespoon of that with 1 gallon of water, and we're going to go out here and train these vines, because vines are coming up big time. Stuff's starting to spread out, and as it's spreading out, we're getting new leaf tissue on as well too. So that means more leaf area that gets exposed to potential diseases. So two-part deal here. Going to go ahead and take care of the vines. We're going to go ahead and take care of getting some spraying done, and we'll come back. Well, here's the backside of the lower plot on the property, overlooking some of the ornamental corn and squash and pumpkins here. And it's probably hard to tell, but off across the river here, that's the western side of the Mississippi River, you can see a lot of haze setting in, and that's a good combination of all the moisture that's in the air, but also all that wildfire smoke that started to come up from Colorado. So we're going to go ahead and get down here and get to work. So you guys can see plants are really doing a good job. It's starting to jet out here with the vines. Getting some pretty decent size to them. Just as an example, this is how big some of the leaf surface is compared to my hand. Again, this is exactly why we want to come in here and get some fungicide down, because these leaf areas can really take up a lot of powdery mildew. And as these vines start to stretch out here, you can see we're putting on new leaves as we go along. Those leaves that weren't previously treated with fungicide become susceptible. So as we're in the process of training these vines and moving them where we want, we've been covering up these little intersections or arterials here with dirt. And what that allows the vines to do is root and get additional nutrients. And this is the start of what these roots look like at these little intersections. So if we were to bury this plant right here in the ground, we can have this root take structure. Here's another one as well, a little bit longer one, where you can tell that it's planted itself down into the dirt. This is what we want, but it's important that as these plants start to vine out, we're continuing to guide them in the direction that we need them to be in. Especially if you got multiple plants in a small area, you want to make sure that each one of these vines has room to spread out and take on male flowers, and then eventually female flowers that can get pollinated. So we're going to go ahead and get this buried.